One Piece chapter 1126 is here, and it has made me so happy. And the main reason is because Legos, but also Shanks. So we'll start out by noting, sorry, I have a cold, if you can hear it. It's loud in my head. I don't know if it's loud out loud. We'll start out by talking about the Giants, and we finally get confirmation on what happened with Dory and Bragi on Little Garden, and it's simply that they realize that they're not going to be able to defeat each other with their fists, and so they're going back to Elbaf to get some weapons so that they can continue their battle to the death. Now, I like this answer because it's simple enough that it makes sense for Oda to move them to Elbaf so they can be on Elbaf when we're exploring Elbaf. If they're going to be involved in the final war, they can easily be caught up in it. It's a simple explanation, but it works because they never were going to be able to complete the battle without new weapons. The explanation works for me, but also I think the main reason I'm satisfied with this is because I like the idea that could mean when we discover the One Piece, when the final conflict is completed, when it's time to bring One Piece to a close, and we check in on the different people and see how their story is going to continue, even after we don't have any more pages to watch them continue. What's going to happen with Dory and Bragi is they're going to return to Little Garden and start their battle again, and joyfully continue fighting each other. And we, the readers, never actually get to know who wins the battle. We just know that the battle continues, and there will be a solution at some point. But today, they just continue to fight as friends. To me, that would be a very poetic ending to their story. Of course, we also have the option of their story ending by one of them falling in battle, and they don't get to finish their battle the way that they want to. Instead, they have to watch their comrade fall by someone else's hand, and that would be a really tragic ending for them, but that's certainly a possibility as well. I like the idea of ending One Piece on their battle continuing, but we'll see. Either way, I'm satisfied with this for now. So they decide to celebrate with hallucinatory alcohol. What a choice they've made. That causes them all to pass out, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, it also causes them to celebrate. I love this page full of Luffy in his Sun God Nika pose. He's not in Gear 5th, but he's in that running pose, except behind him now is giants and this huge, massive hunk of meat that he's carrying on his soldier, celebrating, cheering, running with his food. We have Robin politely, sweetly eating her food in the foreground. Sanji and Usopp celebrating, Brook playing the music, Jinbei laughing, Frankie doing his super pose alongside Chopper, Zoro and Nami are laughing. It's just, these panels are so full of joy and celebration. It's such a quick look at a satisfying celebration. And then right underneath, we have Bonnie in her true form, being held by her father, who is smiling. Her cyborg father, who's been beat, who's been through so much, happily enjoying the horizon at sea with his daughter, happily traveling the world, going to explore at sunset. This is the perfect conclusion to their arc. I'm sure we're going to see more. We have to figure out what comes next for them. If they do get to go off and live happily as father and daughter, and he gets to finish raising her, or if something more terrible happens, we will get more information. But as far as the arc that's been set up, played out, and completed, I feel like this is what we've been waiting. At least this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for them to be able to go explore the world and be able to be together at sunset. That's what was set up. That was the dream, the goal, the desire. And they got that together. And of course, her being healed. And they got that together. So this feels like conclusion of what was meant to be accomplished in their arc. And now I feel like we're free to just show how they move forward off page, or rather how they will move forward off page. Now, are they going to join us in Elbaf? Are they going to go another route? I don't know. I'm just saying I'm very satisfied with the way their story has played out up to this point, and it's a beautiful conclusion. This whole scene is gorgeous to me. Now, another scene that I loved in this chapter was of Shanks and Bart coming to their conclusion. We know that Bart burned flags. We know that he was running rampant, being an absolute fool. And when he's confronted by Shanks, his response is, I'm sorry for what I've done. I wasn't thinking about none of that when I did this. It was a stupid, ignorant thing I did. And Bart, my dear sweet Bart, it's not gonna do it. Like, imagine being Shanks, being an Emperor of the Sea, having a whole fleet of people you look out after, having so much power and authority in this world, so much behind your name, and someone's going around burning your flags, and when you catch them, their response is, I don't know, I didn't really think about it. Whoops. Like, what can you do? He's right. It will make him look weak, and it will then make his friends vulnerable if he doesn't handle this situation. I love the way they handled it, in that they told him to take the poison and really just tested his loyalty for Luffy. What are you gonna do when your back is against the wall? What are you gonna do when you are forced to have to deal with what comes with you carrying your boss's name? And Bart showed himself so strong in this chapter, drinking the poison without even being told to, taking it. It looks to me, from what I can tell, it looks like he snatched it out of his hand. Not that it was put in his hand, but it looks like he was just holding it out saying, give this to your captain. Poison Luffy. Make him pay for your crimes. This is the way I'm reading it. They said all that, and then Bart unexpectedly reached his neck out, grabbed a hold of it with his teeth, and knocked it back before they could do anything with it, and then said, I'm not going to do that. He did not send me out to do this. He didn't even accept me taking his name. I did all of this by my own command, by my own name, and I will take the punishment for it on my own. It showed that his loyalty to Luffy, while being impulsive and foolish, is also so very true, that he's like, no, if I make mistakes, it's on me. I don't care that I'm bearing his name. I'm bearing his name without his express permission. So I'm taking full responsibility for it. And it was such a great scene for him. I love that Shanks is happy to see that their loyalty for Luffy really is strong, that they were tested and they stood true to him, that Shanks is pleased to see that Luffy has generated people, followers, that will not betray him when it looks like death is on the line. But Yasopp understands exactly what Shanks already said, that they can't just let them go. And so again, the way I interpreted this scene is Shanks letting them go, and then Yasopp saying, all right, step aside. And Shanks, could have easily stopped him. They understand each other. They have a good enough relationship. He could have been like, no, you will not usurp my authority. I let them go. You can't shoot. There wasn't friction here. It was just Yasopp understanding. And now the next step is I have to make sure that they see consequences for what they did. The world needs to see them see consequences for what they did. And so he steps in and he does his part of it, which is to take them down. Now, of course, I don't think they're dead. I think that they will be rescued from the water and they will continue to live on. But their ship is gone. Their home is gone. And that is a very real consequence in this world. Shanks is just taking people down left and right these days. He's just like, goodbye, kid. Goodbye, Bart. Everybody that stands in my way, I will let the world know what I do when someone messes with me, and I love to see it. And this is what T-Scene depicted this week, showing Shanks and his crew standing there so stoic and strong, knowing what they have to do. I think she does an amazing job of displaying the power that they have, the presence that they hold. I love that the lighting is focused in on Shanks's sword, and we have the crowds behind them. There are people that rely on him, and so he can't afford to be too soft, even though I do believe that he is a sweetheart. He has too many people that he has to stand up for and keep an order for. As always, T-Scene is linked in the description, so do be sure to show her some love. More scenes that I love! The Blackbeard scene was wonderful. Him coming in, being absolutely furious. You took Koby. He was the key to my plan. Now, this is interesting to me because he already explained why Koby is the key to his plan, and Kizaru and Koby already explained to him why. No, he's really not the key to your plan, because he's Sword and the government won't take responsibility for him, and the government is not going to care that he's been captured. Now, they were wrong. Garp did care, and he, leveled the place for it. But it is interesting to me that Blackbeard still after all of that, still says, no, Kobe is the key to my plan. Is it because Garp proved that he could be key? I don't know, but he's furious. And I'm sorry, I don't know the guy's name, but his response is, I'm sorry, Teach, I'm sorry, give me a minute and I'll tell you. And I'll tell you the story. So first things first, we also let Moria get away. Like, that is not the way to lead. And then you've got him shouting in the background, Moria got away too, as we have the giant, like he's playing with a play set, picking things up. So does the store go here? No, it's over there. You smash that part with your butt. Oh, okay, it goes over here. Like, the chaos of this scene is so funny. I can't wait to see it in the anime. The chaos of this scene of him doing a very bad job of how he's explaining the situation and the anger and the back and forth, and then the giant just trying to put everything back where it goes, makes me so happy. And this spread of the Blackbeard pirate crew all around talking about what they're gonna do now. We did capture Garp. Okay, then we're good. Could have led with that. Would have been a great thing to lead with. But now they're happy because we have Garp, so we can move forward with our plan, whatever that may be. I like that we see that there is some organization here, that there is a plan, and that it's something deeper than what's been exposed to us so far, as it should be. They're pleased that they have the three-eyed girl, Pudding, as well as Garp. We have confirmation that Garp is alive right now, and even better, look at this panel of him being chained up in the dark, still looking like, yes, I did come into your island and near level the place, and would have done even more so if I were in my prime, but as an old man I could only embarrass you all and free my protege. But also I faced off against my old protege, and also I made an opening for the next generation to go free and cheered them on while it happened. Also, I took a hit in order to save Kobe. Also, I took an ice spike through the torso, and here I stand in the dark, chained up, looking like, if you dare to enter my presence, if you dare to give me even the smallest opening, I will level this place again. Like, he looks like he is ready to go at the faintest inclination of an opportunity to keep fighting. Garp has just so lived up to his name at this point. We've seen little inklings of him, and we had Marineford where we really got to see how conflicted he is, but it's hard to build up the legend of a character on the level that Garp has been built up, and then when they get on page, it's actually satisfying. And for me, at least, Garp has exceeded those expectations, and I'm so thrilled with the role that he's played and the fact that he still is going to continue to contribute to this story, because what a legend he is. One thing that one of my patrons pointed out that I'll put on the screen here is that Lafayette, I've forgotten how to say his name, I'm sorry, can hypnotize. And so there is the potential that Lafayette can hypnotize Pudding and then cause her third eye to awaken and help them get to the One Piece, which I thought was a really great observation, because we haven't seen Pudding's third eye awaken yet. So she is still kind of a wild card. Not a wild card. She is still, maybe she'll be an asset, maybe she won't. I think she will, naturally, because, you know, we want Blackbeard to be in the final competition, and that's the way that it's going to happen. So she will, but it is interesting to think that that's the way that it could happen. I thought that was a really great observation. Devon delivered something, who knows what, doesn't matter. And we also got the information that just more check-ins about how the Revolutionary Army is effectively cutting off food supplies for the Celestial Dragons and doing exactly what they want to do to stir up that turmoil and cause that chaos, and how successful they are at it. And finally, the chapter ends on everybody waking up from their drunken stupor because they had to have the hallucinatory alcohol to celebrate. Everybody wakes up and realizes that the Sunny is gone. We have people freaking out. We have Robin giving her morbid observations of what could have happened. And then Nami wakes up. Someone calling her name, Nami, hey, wake up. And then she wakes up, her clothes have changed, she's in a new location, and it's not on the Sunny. Or at least it doesn't appear as if it's on the Sunny. It appears as if she's on A Lego ship? What are the odds? Like, what are the odds that I would create a Lego summary of Egghead because I've recently become obsessed with Legos and that's what I love to do. Create this big, dumb, stop-motion summary video, and then we end up on a Lego ship. Do you know that I am currently building a Lego pirate ship? I'm not done with it, but it looks similar to this, and it makes me so excited. So what's going on here? What has happened? I don't know. They're in Elbaf. It's possible that what's happened is an Elbaf ship was sailing past them for some reason, going somewhere else, even though Elbaf seems to be a self-sustaining, isolated island. And they picked up the Sunny, and a child is playing with Nami and Luffy and others and the Sunny ship in their Lego set. And it's just like a game. And this is just some little bitty side tangent that we're gonna do before we get on Elbaf. It's possible that someone has a devil fruit that turns things Lego, and she is on the Sunny right now, and it's just been turned Lego, though Nami herself hasn't been turned Lego. And the fact that her clothes have changed does kind of seem like she's being used as a figurine, or used as a toy that's being played with currently. The main question is, how did she end up in the hands of someone big enough, a giant, who would be using her as a figurine in their Lego set? All I can say is I know I have personal stakes in this because I just think the irony that we're doing Legos right after I did a Lego video, I just think it's so funny. So I'm naturally very partial to this, but I imagine the idea of the Straw Hats being split up and some of them going on some sort of side misadventure with Legos doesn't appeal to a large portion of the fan base. But I'm very happy. I do hope that it's a short little misadventure and then we all end up back on Elbaf together. But, I mean, we're in the post arc, we're in a transition area where we're going from one island to another. I think this is a fun little misadventure. Might give us some good character moments, might give us some time to decompress before we start exploring a new world. I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't go on forever, I think it's fun. But what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts on this chapter. Sorry again for my voice. It sounds really bad in my head. I hope it doesn't sound quite as bad to you. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this chapter. I think from start to finish, I loved every scene of this chapter. So I'm curious what your favorite part of the chapter is, because I think mine is Shanks, but it's all so great to me. But please do continue chatting with me about it in the comments. I'll see you again soon. Bye.